Florida has earned a reputation as the scam capital of the world, with the FBI noting that the state has the highest per capita rate of reported fraud in the U.S. The most common types of scams are the grandparent scam, the home repair scam, the sweepstakes scam, the investment scam, the vacation rental scam, and the real estate scam. The grandparent scam. This is a scam where a person poses as a grandchild or a grandchild's acquaintance and contacts grandparents claiming to be in an emergency situation and in need of money. They will often ask the grandparents to wire or send gift cards to help with the emergency. The scammers will often use a grandchild's name and other personal information to make the scam more convincing, and may even claim to be calling from a hospital or jail. Once the money is sent, the scammers disappear and the grandparents are left out of pocket. This scam was particularly prevalent during the pandemic as scammers took advantage of the isolation and fear caused by the virus. The home repair scam. This is a scam where a person poses as a contractor and offers to make repairs to a person's home. They may offer services such as roofing, paving, or remodeling. They will often ask for a large deposit up front and then either perform shoddy work or take the money and run. This scam was also on the rise during the pandemic, as many people have been stuck at home and looking for ways to improve their living space. The sweepstakes scam. This scam occurs when a person tells a potential victim that they have won a sweepstakes or lottery, but in order to claim the prize, they must first pay a fee. The scammers will ask for personal information and money to cover taxes, processing fees, or other costs associated with the sweepstakes. The victim will never receive the prize and the scammers will disappear with the money. The investment scam. This scam takes place when a person convinces a potential victim to invest money in a fake company or investment opportunity. The scammers will often use high-pressure tactics to convince the victim to invest their money and may use fake documents or websites to make the investment opportunity seem real. Once the victim has invested their money, the scammers disappear with it. The vacation rental scam. This scam is becoming increasingly common. Scammers create fake listings for vacation rentals and take money from unsuspecting renters. Once the renter arrives at the location, they find out that the rental does not exist and the money is gone. The real estate scam. This scam occurs when a person poses as a real estate agent and takes money from potential buyers or renters, but the property does not exist or the person is not a real estate agent. These scammers will often use fake documents or websites to make the property seem legitimate and will also use high-pressure tactics to convince the victim to invest their money. Scamming has become as ubiquitous as the Florida beaches. But why? Florida's weak protection laws and telemarketing fraud laws have made the state a prime target for scammers. A closer examination of the specific laws and provisions in them reveal the reasons why scammers are attracted to the state. One of the key weaknesses in Florida's consumer protection laws is the lack of strict regulations on telemarketing. For example, while the state has a do not call registry, it does not have any specific regulations on robocalls, which are a common tactic used by scammers. Additionally, penalties for violating telemarketing laws in Florida are relatively low compared with other states. Another weakness in Florida's consumer protection laws is the limited scope of the state's Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act. The law does not cover all types of fraud like investment fraud, real estate fraud, cybercrime, healthcare fraud, banking, and financial fraud. And this has left large gaps in protections for consumers. The law also has a short statute of limitations for filing a claim, which makes it difficult for victims to seek justice. In terms of telemarketing fraud laws, Florida does not have specific regulations on prize promotions and sweepstakes, which are commonly used by scammers. Additionally, the state's laws do not provide restitution for victims of telemarketing fraud. This makes it difficult for them to recover their losses. Furthermore, Florida's consumer protection laws lack specific provisions to address the rising number of real estate and vacation rental scams. This leaves consumers vulnerable to fraud in these areas. In comparison to other states, Florida's consumer protection laws and telemarketing fraud laws are relatively weak. For example, California has stricter regulations on telemarketing and stronger consumer protection measures in place, including a longer statute of limitations for fraud cases and increased funding for law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute fraud cases. To address the weaknesses in Florida's consumer protection laws and telemarketing fraud laws, lawmakers could consider strengthening regulations on telemarketing by increasing penalties for violators, expanding the scope of the FDUTPA, and providing restitution for victims of telemarketing fraud. Additionally, specific provisions could be added to address the rising number of real estate and vacation rental scams. It's clear that Florida's weak consumer protection laws and telemarketing fraud laws are contributing to the state's problem with scams. A more comprehensive examination of the specific laws and provisions reveals the reasons why scammers are attracted to the state. To better protect its residents, Florida should consider strengthening its consumer protection and telemarketing fraud laws.